It's interesting to note that over 95% of our prehistory has been lost, so it can be tough for historians and archaeologists to answer many of the questions that people have about our past. This in turn has caused people to fill in certain gaps in history with their own ideas, some of which have gained traction over the years. There's various groups of people that have questioned where we came from. Modern scientists will tell you the first humans started popping up in Africa a few million years ago, further saying that science recognizes some 15 to 20 different species of early humans, including Homo erectus and Homo heidelbergensis. There's something that archaeologists and researchers have picked up on though, and this is the detailing of mysterious objects in the sky that were detailed by ancient man. It's said these bright lights would come close to them and even land. Although scientists have said it's likely that ancient man was seeing natural phenomena, others have looked outside the box and suggested that something else could be at play. UFOs certainly aren't a modern day thing. As mentioned, they've been depicted in things like old paintings and scriptures, with one of the oldest coming from the ancient Egyptian civilization. It's these encounters that have caused some to think these crafts have been visiting our planet for thousands of years. There were even reports of unidentified flying objects in biblical times, once again matching other reports that detail strange objects flying around in our sky, thousands of years before the invention of the aeroplane. Even today, with the skies filled with drones, helicopters and planes, UFOs are still a source of mystery and intrigue. Imagine then the level of disbelief on seeing such objects before the actual invention of the aeroplane. Whilst we might think of the UFO as a 20th century phenomenon, the late 19th century saw many astounding reports that brought to those who witnessed them both wonderment and fear in equal measure. Almost a decade before the Wright brothers' first flight, numerous sightings of strange cigar-shaped UFOs were spotted across the United States. Starting in 1896 and continuing to 1897, these mystery airships were bigger and faster than anything else known at the time. Fast forward to the modern day and there seems to be no slowing down. One interesting event that happened a while ago was when people saw a mysterious looking craft hovering above the Pentagon. Those who managed to take some photographs said it looked like a giant pyramid. However, the object wasn't easy to see, with those who witnessed it saying you could just about see it on camera, but once the images made their way online, no one could really explain what was being seen. Once online users increased the brightness, you could clearly see a mysterious structure above the United States Department of Defense. Various people managed to take photographs of the event, as you can see the pyramid-like structure from multiple different angles. One user who saw the images said the following: "This is a great capture, and it just makes you wonder how many UFOs we've walked past within our lifetime. This object isn't easy to see." End quote. While another person said this: "These shaped crafts have always interested me because they match nothing we have on Earth. Other shaped UFOs match things like stealth planes and things like blimps, but we don't have anything that looks like a giant pyramid." End quote. Some even suggested that the object wasn't actually a craft, but might have been a hologram. After the images were shared online, interest in them soon dropped, but they've recently been shared again on some UFO groups, and this is because it was recently announced that the Pentagon was working on a UFO project, known as the Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon Task Force, and according to Eric W. Davis in the account he provided to the New York Times, the scientist was engaged with the UFO investigation team since 2007, being an integral piece in the now declassified and discontinued UFO program known as the Advanced Aviation Threat Identification Program. After spending millions of dollars, the researchers eventually came to the conclusion that these UFO sightings and crafts had no earthly origin, and displayed behavior that could not be explained. Though many of the unidentified flying objects were spotted at random locations across the country, a small minority of these crafts were found located near US nuclear missile bases, flying through restricted airspace and hovering close to residential locations. It appeared that wherever these crafts wanted to go, they could easily find their way to their targeted location regardless of measures taken to restrict airspace. This could very well be the closest the Department of Defense will ever come to admitting the viability of extraterrestrial crafts, without directly saying it. Others then said it's interesting how this giant pyramid was seen above the Pentagon a few years before this information was released, going on to say that these crafts back up what this study said, in that they can go wherever they want without being stopped. The airspace above Washington DC is heavily restricted, so this wouldn't have just been a random aircraft. As of right now, we have no official explanation for what this craft was, and how it was able to hover above the Pentagon for so long. Officials have said that the Advanced Aviation Threat Identification Program has been shut down, but researchers have gone on to say it's likely the program just got renamed, saying that over the years there's been various UFO programs. This is one of the reasons why UFO believers think there's more to this story. If the government didn't believe in UFOs, then why have they over the last few decades opened up various UFO programs? It's likely they've spent hundreds of millions of dollars looking into this topic. As of right now though, the government has been a lot more open in recent years than they've normally been, and this led some to think that maybe in the near future we'll be told the truth about these objects. So what do you make of these interesting images? Do you think this craft is a UFO, or is it perhaps one of ours? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comment section below, and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.